Dear friends of the Rijksmuseum, beste vrienden van het Rijksmuseum, we're closed. You know that. You're all at home, and I hope you're well and your families, and that all is coming good for you in these dark days. We want to thank you very much for all the support you've given us over the years, and to tell you that even if we're closed, we're very much hoping to see you the moment we reopen, our most loyal and trusted group of visitors. We hope very much that all of you are healthy and safe at home, and to thank you for your support over the years, we thought we'd give you this little taste of the Caravaggio-Bernini exhibition, which we hope will be prolonged after the reopening so that you will all have a chance to see it. Good morning. My name is Duncan Bull. I'm the curator of non-Dutch European paintings in the Rijksmuseum, and I'm sitting here in the Rijksmuseum garden on this glorious, absolutely glorious early spring morning, the sort of morning one really wants to be outdoors on, but of course I would much rather be indoors today because I'm missing this unique possibility to see the art of Rome as it developed in the early 17th century, this wonderful moment when the arts, sculpture, painting, music, literature all talk off in a new direction with a great new emphasis on expression, emotion that really formed the bedrock of how the arts were made and thought about for the next century and a half. We've divided the exhibition up into sections, each with a title giving the ideas and the critical terms used at the time, the way people thought about art at the time. The first of our themes is meraviglia e stupore, wonder and astonishment, really important concepts for what was going on in Rome. This is about how we look at things. We look at things and we're astonished, and there's something further behind them. We get excited by them, by what we see. And we've illustrated this with two, and this is also the introduction to the show, with our two stars, Caravaggio and Bernini. We have Caravaggio's Narcissus and Bernini's Medusa, both of them classical stories from classical mythology written about by the great Latin poet Ovid, and we'll see that Ovid is someone who recurs during this exhibition. Narcissus, the story was the most beautiful of the young huntsmen of his time. So beautiful that everyone fell in love with him, but so proud and so arrogant that he disdained their advances. And he went a bit too far, because the goddess of fate one day decided that he would be treated as he had treated others, and would suffer perpetual torments of unrequited love. Caravaggio shows him here looking into the pond in which he sees his own shadow, and he becomes enamored of himself. And of course the end of the story is that he kisses his own image, he tries to seduce himself, and he falls into the pond and drowns. As the English poet Marvel put it, those lips exceeding his, who leapt into the water for a kiss of his own shadow, and despising many, died ere he could enjoy the love of any. There is also an element here of him going into the unknown. He's not only fallen in love with himself, but with the reflection. It's like those children's books where you walk through the mirror. We're being invited to follow Caravaggio into that unknown sphere behind the mirror. A very similar thing is happening with the Medusa's head. Medusa, the Gorgon, was a nasty monster. She had snake's hair and was hideously ugly, and everyone who saw her was turned to stone. It was only when Perseus came down on his horse, his flying horse, and used his shield as a mirror, again we get the mirror image, was he able to cut off her head. And even after death, her head was able to turn people into stone. And of course the big play here that Bernini makes so much of is that this is a stone head, and is she turning us into stone, or are we turning her into stone? There's a dialogue going here of how you look, what the function of sight is. And of course, rather like the Caravaggio, it's an absolute masterpiece of condensation of the image into one whole, with this wonderful tangled mass of snakes' heads, so beautifully and individually carved that one wonders how he managed to do it without breaking the marble. This brings us into the exhibition, this focus on vision and the way artists force us to rethink our preconceptions about how we see.